listening to Request Live on WPGU 1071 Champaign's Alternative. I am your host, Emma. Today I'm in the studio with Tom from the band Way to Go Radio.
What's up?
So, yeah, they're the ones behind that song you just heard. It's called It's Not Enough. So Way to Go Radio, it's a Chicago-based band, and they are fresh off the release of their debut album called Barriers. So welcome to the studio, Tom.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I know you guys are fairly new, but I'm curious to know kind of how you all got started. So how long have you been playing music? What's your origin story?
This incarnation of the band has been together, I'd say, about probably like 3 years. We all came from previous bands that we've been in. I had only been in one band prior, since I was like 15 with my brother. When that started to kind of, I don't want to say implode, but change, we decided to just kind of start over and do something new. Yeah. And then, that's what we started like 3 years ago. Okay. So it took a little while to get this one out, but hopefully it's worth it. You know, people like it.
For sure. And what's like the inspiration behind the name? Because it's very unique. So
that was funny because we won't name the station, but there was like a big station back in the day, an alternative station in Chicago, which you could probably guess. But they went under for a little while, and then they came back, and we noticed like the college stations were like all about always new music and playing new music. And they were playing, it was like turning into almost like a retro playlist where like, I was like, why would I listen to like Nevermind, Nirvana? Not that I don't like that I like that, but I don't need to listen to commercials in the age of like streaming and satellite radio and, phones. Yeah. So we're searching for a name. One day that station came back on and they were doing a pretty good job of pushing new music and they were kind of slipping again. So we're walking down to rehearse, and I told my brother, I'm like, they played, I think at the time, they played like the new either like Fantagram single or like Silver Sun Pickups. And then they played like Learning to Fly by the Foo Fighters, man. Like, and not that I don't like that, but it's like, why? So as we were walking down the stairs, my brother was like, yeah, like Way to Go Radio. Like, kind of like talk trash a little bit. But then I was like, what'd you say? And he said it again. I was like, maybe that's the name of our band. Yeah. So then that's how we chose it. So.
Okay, cool. So you said the album obviously was quite the process, but what was that process like for you guys? Like your inspiration for
it was
whole album?
Pretty crazy. There was a lot going on at the time, like personally, and then our other band was kind of, I don't want to say like seizing, but we had some members go through some personal difficulties and some other issues. Yeah. So as that was starting to kind of implode, we left. We were going to kind of transition to this new project anyways. But then we had a lot to write about because like anything that could have went wrong during the making of this album went wrong. Yeah. I mean, we were working with one producer and I brought like hard drives that he didn't back the music up to, and he at one point lost half the record.
Oh, no.
So we started over. I mean, so that's where Barriers is from because like anything we tried to do just went completely the opposite way. You know, we were navigating through it. So it made for like a pretty personal record. Yeah. So I don't know if I want to do it all over again, but I'm glad
it's a good story behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think your favorite song is on the album? Mine is It's Not Enough.
Yeah, I'd say it'd probably be that or I'm trying to think right now. Like that one I really have a personal connection to. Dustin on there was about a friend of ours that we always said we grew up with him since second grade and he had passed away from skin cancer. So that one's just kind of written for him. So that one's kind of special for us. Yeah. But then lately I've been kind of getting into playing live Letters to South California, which was about, I don't know how candid you want me to get here, but it doesn't bother.
Candid as you want, yeah.
We had a former member in the band actually get in a little bit of trouble and do some time in jail. So that was off of South California Street in the city. So people might think it's like about the state, but it's not. Yeah. So that I like that track a lot. Okay. So.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of really like personal influences.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, we were kind of like trying to keep the rig on the road, so to speak, while everybody we knew were like imploding and getting wild, So we had a lot to write about. It was like more, at least I'm kind of glad it wasn't personal experience, it was just like through the eyes of other people. Yeah.
So I know you have the glasses for all our listeners. Yeah. Some cool glasses. But something I've noticed is on your social media and everything, you have kind of a different philosophy towards that and kind of an emphasis on privacy. So if you want to talk about that, I thought that was really unique.
Thanks. Cool. Yeah, I think it's, we'll see what happens. I mean, a couple of years from now, if it comes to bite us or not. But I think personally, our approach was just to do something a little different. And try to inject some imagination back into it. It's not wrong. I mean, I think with like, obviously post reality TV and everything, everybody's way more comfortable showing the process of everything. Yeah. Where me, myself, like I just kind of want to watch the finished movie. And then later on, if I want to dig for details, cool. But like it ruins it for me to like watch scenes like the movie without it being released. Like I don't want to see the edits. I don't want to really see everybody's journey all the time. I want to like bring it to me when it's done. So I think we took that approach and like we didn't let anybody really see what was going on until the record was ready to come out. Yeah. Which we probably could have had a better build up, so to speak. But I was like, it's kind of like if you don't have much to say, don't really say anything. But now there's just a lot of noise out there. So I think we're kind of anti that. And that's kind of where the glasses came from too.
Okay.
I'd said this in previous interviews, but your listeners probably haven't heard it, so it's okay. I can say it here. But in the previous band, the other dudes in the band were pretty good looking dudes. And we would get reviews sometimes that would kind of like take shots, being like, these guys are just like poster boys or like they're the monkeys. And I'm like, man, we've been playing in music and our whole family is from music and we've been doing this since we're little kids. And you'll take a look at us and just disregard all that history. So with this personally, I think for me, I was like, I kind of want to take that out of it. And I don't really want anyone to see my face. And then I was having a discussion with my brother and I was like, I wonder if somebody like has made glasses that can put images on it. And he told me, he's like, if you've thought of it, somebody's done it. So I found them like probably like 4 years ago. And then like I told you before we went on air, I think the guy from Muse started using them on tour recently. And I was like, just like if we got out like 6 months earlier, we would have beat it. But it's okay. I'm going to rock them anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cool. That's a very like refreshing take in the age of social media. Not want to put everything out there. So.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like when I was, I think we've been in different bands for a long time. So it's like we were, especially even me, myself, I was like the one where it's like, if you wanted to listen to my record, I mean, I'd make a balloon animal for you. I would do whatever you wanted. And as we started to get, I don't want to say like, you don't want to think you're like masterclass in music, but we've been playing in bands for a long, long time. So now it was kind of like, well, let's just let this music speak for itself and take all that out of it. I'm not really comfortable with everybody just watching what I'm doing in my daily life.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, but even some of my favorite bands, like I've like not wanted to follow because it's like ruined it for me. Like
ruins the illusion.
Yeah, exactly. You're backstage. You're like okay, waiting out in front to get into the concert. And you're like, I wonder if they're on the bus. I wonder if they're backstage. And now you just like pull up your phone and you're like, oh, they're eating mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Watching Friends, waiting to rock the. Like it ruins it. You know, like I want like this illusion in my head. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. So we're going to take our first break and we'll hear another song from the album Barriers. And we'll start back here. So this is Dustin from Way to Go Radio. All right, that was Dustin from Way to Go Radio. And we are in the studio with Tom, one of the guys behind that song. So from their new album Barriers, obviously a really cool and unique sound that you guys have. You said it was kind of new from what you've done before in the past. Yeah. So where do you personally get your influence from, like your musical influences?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like I like Young the Giant a lot. I like Fantagram. I just got the new Coin album, so I really like them. And we're kind of all over the place. I like this band. Even it's like French pop music. They've been around forever, called Tahiti 80. I don't even know if anyone knows who they are. So like we're all kind of all over the map.
Yeah.
But we wanted to, I think when we were younger and other like different like versions of the bands we were in, we were greatly affected by the influences. Yeah. And we almost like tried to be them instead of like taking that and doing something different. So now I think it's kind of, hopefully it sounds way different where we can't get categorized. I was talking to some radio stations in Seattle not too long ago. And it was funny. The alternative station was like, hey, you're too rock for the alternative station. I was like, okay. And then we contacted the rock station, like you're too alternative for the rock station. So I was like, I don't know where we're falling, but I think it's kind of cool. It should be something new, you know?
For sure. Yeah. So I always like to ask this. Okay. I think it's fun to get recommendations for myself even, but what's been on your playlist recently?
I got the new Coin album.
Yeah,
I'm really
I know you mentioned that.
Yeah, like I just got that. I've been obsessing over that. There's a song on there called Babe Ruth, I think is really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been listening to that a ton. What else did I just download? I've been listening to the new Fantagram. I'm trying to think what else. I really like the KG Elephant album, even though it's not necessarily new, you know?
Yeah.
I think that album is like, you just tell, I don't know, from your perspective as well, you're a listener, avid listener forever, you can just tell when a record's like focused, where it's like these guys just didn't get in the studio and be like, okay, let's jam and see what happens. Like that works for some bands, but you can tell when it's like a well-crafted piece of work. So yeah, those I'd say were on the top of my list right now. Definitely like Social Cues by Cage Elephant, Coin. And then I've been listening a lot to the new Phantogram. I think their full record comes out next month or something, like next Friday or something. So
cool.
Promote them too, you know.
Yeah. Shameless plug for Phantogram.
Exactly. You guys are welcome. Not that you need
it. So we are nearing the end of our time today. But before you go, I want to know what we can expect from you guys in the future. So any touring plans coming up?
We're going to start ramping up the local shows first in summer. Right now we have a lot more radio gigs to do. We're doing a lot of interviews, which I think is cool. We're talking off the air. Like we want to take more of a grassroots approach because there's so much noise kind of going on. Like I'm not saying that SoundCloud and all that stuff is bad. We're on there, but I don't know if you get that same personal experience.
Yeah.
And we would rather channel that information through you guys than just upload it on our social media ourselves. So we're going to finish up this radio tour, let that build and simmer a little bit. And then live is where I'd say we really excel. Like we have so much fun playing live. So I'm excited, you know.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah. You can check out Way to Go Radio's new album. It's called Barriers. So that's streaming on all the major platforms. And then their social media at Way to Go Radio. And their website, waytogoradio.com. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And then I will play us out with Definition of Close from Way to Go Radio.